Roxy, another great performance from you on TUF, but didn't quite get to where you wanted to be. So, putting yourself through it all again and coming up just short. What's the emotion and the feeling like after that?
I was pretty bummed out, as I said on the show, but more than bummed out. But this time, nobody caught me crying on camera. I locked the bathroom door.
That's a veteran move there, huh?
Yes, indeed, veteran move for sure. Yeah, I was deeply disappointed. However, I'm really excited now. I get the chance to fight Barb.
I was going to say, it's kind of in a strange way. I mean, that's the fight I think fans all wanted to see it. I think it's the fight that you wanted to have. So is it kind of, I guess, a bittersweet thing that you got what you wanted, it's just not for the title?
Exactly. It's kind of strange, you know? Exactly. Like, I figured I would be fighting her at the end in the finale, and I'm fighting her in the finale. So, I'm just trying to stay focused on that. Like, I want to fight for the title for the money and the recognition, but I want to fight Barb for myself, for my heart, and for the rematch, and, to show that I've improved and all that stuff.
You got a lot of high praise on the show from Dana, from coaches, from everybody else. I mean, did you watch the show at all and soak in that in and say, well, I didn't get there, but listen to all these nice things people are saying about me?
I admit that was exciting. I was like, oh, praise, praise. I was really excited because, I've caught a lot of flack for my striking skills in the past. And it's still not beautiful, and I was rewatching my fight thinking, all right, that wasn't so beautiful, but it's the way I am. Everyone has their own style. I just have to embrace mine and know that I can still win with the wonky style that I have.
You're a veteran that's battled through a lot of ups and downs, but I wonder, I mean, when the show was over and you had to go back to the gym, were you excited to get back in the gym and keep improving, keep learning, or was there kind of a sadness like, I came up short again, maybe this isn't for me, or any of that type of frustration?
When I went back to the gym, my coach just kept reminding me, like, you're in the UFC now, don't worry, you're going to get another shot, and of course I want to keep improving, and it was a challenge for me to remember, like, Coach, this happened against the cage. What do I do from there? Coach, this happened. What do I do? And it was hard not having his voice, honestly. Like, it's kind of like a video game character where he inputs the controls and I just do the combinations. So to not have him there in my ear was definitely played a part. I think the fight might have gone differently with Sajar if I had him.
I know you said you're looking forward to this fight for personal reasons, but are you also looking at it professionally as kind of a number one contender fight? I mean, do you feel like you and Barb definitely, I think, still have the biggest names? So if either of you are victorious, I think it might make sense to you to fight for the title. Is that the way you're kind of looking at things as well?
I always try not to look past my opponent. However, yes, I would like the title shot after this. But first things first, I really want this fight. I think my mind's in the right place. Trying not to think of the big picture because that just makes me nervous. This leads to this. So just fight my fight and do what I can do against Barb and show that I've improved.
This is a natural weight class for you, and when you were on the first Ultimate Fighter season, a lot of talk was about the fact that wasn't natural weight class for you, but that was the opportunity was put in front of you at the time. Having gone through both seasons now, was it that much better? I mean, obviously, fighting in a natural weight class, did it make as much difference as people would indicate that it would?
Well, back in the day, people cut 5 pounds of water, and that was it. Now people are cutting so many more pounds of water, right? So like everybody else, I was okay with, I was walking around I think I always walk around 140-ish, 141. And then I just cut 5 pounds of water and fought in the first season. And everyone was the same size. But now, I cut 5 pounds of fat and then cut 10 pounds of water. And everyone's doing the same. So I pretty much just have to change with the times. But for sure, I do feel a big strength difference in my opponents. I'm not getting out-muscled as much in this weight class. So that's definitely leading to my success, I think.
What are the changes you've seen in women's MMA since you have all the experience besides the weight cutting?
Yeah, I think in addition to the weight classes becoming more clear, that's one big thing. Like I used to have a title as a middleweight. I had a title as I think a welterweight, whatever that means, like years ago. Other changes would be like just the level of their technique, of everyone's technique has gone up. There are more females, so it's more competitive now than it used to be. Everyone has to be more well-rounded. You can't, like I used to go out and do like horrible striking and win because I could submit people, but not anymore.
On the first season of The Ultimate Fighter you were on, Ronda Rousey was already on top. She was obviously a big star, and this was to determine who was going to be joining her division, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But this division's different because there are no predetermined superstars necessarily coming into it. So is that giving a little more of an exciting feel that, it's kind of anybody's crown to claim as far as emerging as one of the top stars?
Yes, at the moment it's very exciting and it feels very open, but then I know like people are gonna drop, people are gonna come up. I'm hearing Shevchenko wants to drop. Joanna was thinking about coming up. A lot of killers want to join the division, so it's exciting all around. Bring them on.
How long have you been thinking about trying to get this fight?
I've been thinking about getting a rematch for 6 years, ever since I lost the first time.
I mean, now it's getting closer. Does it feel like it's starting to feel more real? Like, okay, now I really have this opportunity in front of me that I've wanted for so long.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to get this rematch. So many fighters don't get them, and man, I've been counting down my opponents who have wanted to fight retiring. Akano retired, Rosie Sexton retired, like all these people I'm like listing off like I want to fight, they're retiring. So, a side note, I always get kind of excited when there's a fighter on the UFC card who started fighting before me. Okay, I'm not old. So yeah, I'm super excited, and I just saw her walking down the hallway. And so there she is.
With the rematch, I guess 6 years in the making, and the evolution that you've seen as a fighter through your own skill set, why was it that this particular one meant so much to you?
For one, this fight means a lot to me because she finished me with the rear naked choke, which is my favorite choke. So she beat me with my favorite choke, and like my coaches of the time were telling me, "Oh, you can handle her. She's no problem. It's no problem." And then it was a big problem. I look at her fights now and I think, man, I've improved in this area. I can beat this, and so I know that I've improved.
So are you more emotionally invested in this fight than you would have been in the title shot?
Probably I am more emotionally involved in different ways. I do feel kind of like I let my coach down from not getting the title fight. But this is actually the fight I wanted all along. So we fought on the same day on The Ultimate Fighter. I fought first, and then Barb fought Nico. So I lost, and they had made me sit off the camera. So I was sitting there trying to watch and focus on who the fights, and then when Barb lost, I was or Nico won. Maybe I can fight her now. Can't be possible. Trying to think of any positiveness.
When did they actually tell you that was going to happen?
Oh, they didn't tell me anything for weeks until weeks passed. But I said to my coach John, hey, if they offer me a fight in the finale, can we request Barb?
Do you ever thought about the coaches fight on Saturday? I mean, this is kind of unusual the way this has worked out because obviously they can't be at the finale. They've got their own fight. If you haven't thought about the fight.
Yeah, I'm super excited to watch Eddie and Justin. They're both super good. I'm excited for that fight. I can't wait to see it.
Prediction.
I can't. Justin will win. I have to say that.
What about in the title fight here?
Man, I was thinking about that. I never want to bet against Nico. She came out of somewhere some gym I never heard of, and just has these skills. I'm watching her fight. She's doing everything right. She was fun to roll with. She was my favorite jiu-jitsu roll. We just flowed, and we never did super hard sparring together, but everything was flowing, and her kicks were cool, and came out of nowhere. Suddenly there's a kick, block it. She was fun to train with. Sarge is so strong. She's, like the Terminator. I hit her so many times in our fight, and she was just didn't even blink. It's like the Terminator. So I don't want to count her out either. So hopefully I'll be in good shape to watch after my fight.
Fans kind of always expect you to wear something unique at the weigh-ins, and this will be an experience for the first time in a while where you can't. Is there going to be maybe something that you do that would be unique to kind of keep with that?
Very good question. I will have I have requested a few things and they got denied, which I thought were reasonable, but whatever. So I did figure out one thing to do. two things to do. You'll just have to wait and see.
When you first got into MMA, was there any women fighters that you looked up to and idolized?
Oh, good question. I never really had any female fighters to idolize really that came before me. I mean, Debbie Purcell, was fighting before me. I met her. She's awesome. Other than that, just the male fighters I looked up to. I always looked up to Randy Couture and Matt Serra. Matt Serra's jiu-jitsu is so cool. I met him at the UFC convention, and he was like, "Oh, you're Roxanne Modafferi. Let's talk about Star Wars." I was like, oh, "Fangirl." It was exciting. So yeah, mostly that. I look up to male fighters.